Hey, family. 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 But it's hard to stay mad when there's me. Hey, family. Hey, family. Hey, family. Hey, family. Hey, family. What the blah? Blah, blah, blah. In the building. The bubble butt butt in the building. The bubble butt butt in the building. The bubble butt butt in the building. Bubble butts butt. Hey, family, give me a sec. Give me a sec. Uh, Today is Friday. Okay. Today is Friday. Okay. And my topic. Anybody that would like to come up, right? You're welcome to come up. But I want you to know, I'm not full of bull crap over here. All right. You see my topic and BMore. I'm gonna read it off for you. Y'all know where I'm at. It's about embracing our teens. Because of my 12-step spiritual program, and because of the way I used to live my life, I don't live my life like that no more. Right? I share my experience, my strengths, and my hopes. I share my experience, my strengths, and my hopes with people, and helping you to understand how you can turn your life around. So I'm letting you know I'm not for this bull crap. I'm just letting you know. I'm about helping people. I'm about building back up in the community as a human rights advocate, as an individual, like I said, that lived a certain way of life, that don't live that life no more. The goal is giving back to the community. So I'm not for all this crazy stuff. Right? Now, whenever I come on the couch, talk, show. Whenever I come on the couch, talk, show. The BMore's real, that's what I was calling it until they switched it around. BMore Teen Talk. It's about life. It's about reality. It's about real life stories. And everybody had one. This is an opportunity to be able to talk about yourself, parents. This is an opportunity for youth to be able to come and feel comfortable and talk about where they at, what's going on with them, and all that good stuff without being judged. That's why my thing is, family, we listen and we try our best not to judge. You get it? We listen, parents, and we try our best not to judge. Because sometimes our kids can say some stuff out their mouth to make you want to already know. Catch the hint. But we in new times. We're in new ages where they will charge you quick with child abuse or child endangerment for TikTok's sake. Because I am a father, a grandfather, an uncle. My oldest niece that I raised is 46. Her sister, her brother. They used to call me Uncle Daddy Steve, and sometimes we laugh about that. They knew who their fathers was. And their fathers in any way was very welcome. If they wanted to come and see him and stuff like that, they was very welcome. But basically, Big Unc raised them until my own came. I became a foster care parent. So I'm not trying to be smart, family. When it come to anyone, you don't want to debate me. Not being a parent. Not being a foster care parent. Not being a mentor of young men. Not being a sponsor of men, women, and children. And helping to turn people's lives around. I'm not the person you want to debate. Because I'm going to come to you from a level of personal experience. You're not going to like it. Because you might sit back and want to tell me about everybody else's story and life just to match up with what I say out my mouth. You don't want to do it. You don't want to. That's why I'd rather for a person to share their own personal experience. Do not try to correct nothing I say out my mouth. Do not do it. Because you didn't travel my road, you haven't lived it.
You
so
definitely ain't been in my shoes. What's going on, OG?
Ain't nothing much. Ain't nothing much.
What are we doing?
But it's Friday.
Today,
Read the prompt. Read the prompt.
Oh, we're doing BMore team talk today, huh?
BMore. Read the talk. It's not basically about, it's about fighting for people's civil rights, equal rights, and constitutional rights. So basically, it all boils around the things that we do towards our family, community, life in general. But then when you have a system that's put in place that tends to want to keep you trapped, you got people like myself who became a part of Communities United of Baltimore, Maryland, who became a part of American Civil Liberty Union, the ACLU, who became a part of these organizations to help fight for your democracy, for your civil rights, for your equal rights, for your constitutional rights, but you'll keep telling yourself you don't have none. Yes, you do. It's called fighting for them. Standing up for yourself, but with other people. When you got a system that don't want to see you succeed, then you got people that fight against that system. The whole goal, you supposed to merge with the people that's fighting against the system. But a lot of you scared. A lot of people scared. But we'll sit back and we can complain. We can, argue. We can go back to Roe versus Wade, and we can go back to what's that guy named Jim Crow and them. We can go back to all that bullcrap. When you got more freedom today than we ever had before in our life, it's just fighting for what you want out of life. And every time I say that, y'all will come back with an excuse. Well, see, this what happened back then. This what happened then. This what happened then. See how goofy that sound? See how goofy I just sound? That's how a lot of y'all be sounding to me. And we got this and we got that. And I'm like, oh, Lord, here we go. Well, see, there are only two races in the world, the YT and the BLK. We need to create our own island and cruise and stuff. Cause supermarkets, shopping centers, where your money coming from? Well, schools, let me stop. Shopping centers. I understand, I do. But what I begin to understand too, family, this world is not just made up of black and white. Yeah, but they don't go through what we go through. It's always something. I'll be like, here we go. Here we go. But now, this was kind of a pitch from yesterday. The couch, BMore Team Talk. Real conversations, family. Real conversation. Real talk. Excuse me. Y'all know I'm drinking my Diet Pepsi. Real conversations, real stories. I didn't say fake. I didn't say phony. TikTok. I put up prompts that we can have a healthy dialogue with, not chaotic. Now, if somebody come up and you don't clearly understand certain things, that's fine. And you ask a question, like just to clarify something, and if we have some experience in it, we're going to share it with you, right? If not, you can always Google and research certain things. And I'm gonna tell you another place if I really want to know stuff on a political level or business level or entertainment level, stuff like that. We do have fact checkers. It's another one out there too that's something similar to fact checkers that you can go on and basically back up the information, because they do have individuals that goes out, investigate these things to bring back the facts of the information so that it can be reported. Follow people like Don Lemon. Follow people like Aaron Paneras. He's in DC. These are people that's on the ground. They are on the ground reporters. They have their own investigative team too, to feed them a lot of the information that they put back out. If you don't follow these type of people, you will only go off of what he's saying and she's saying and they saying, which is it's somewhat the same, but it's kind of like, where your resource or your information coming from. So you want to be a little bit more valid when you say certain things. When I say I'm a community activist, When I say I'm a human rights advocate, when I say I'm a community organizer, if I say I'm a homeless advocate, if I say the name of my LLC is strengthen the community, what do that tell you in general? That he's involved in community activities. But in a sense, with me and the people that I have to get to know, I got to deal with people that's working more on the solution and not staying in the problem. Some people, I was messing with Cherie today, right? Because I was telling Cherie, I said, remember I went to cut my live on and you and Ringo, we was in the trailer, y'all hardtail. They ain't want to be seen on my live. Because they knew I was coming hard for our politicians and stuff. I had to stop once I realized their work is limited. It's the people. And see, now knowing that, right, when certain things happen in the community, you know, with the with the smugs, with the unaliving rate, any of that criminal behaviors, right? When that happens in the community, people quit to blame our politicians, but they wasn't the one that did it. They wasn't the one that did it. It was your family member, or it was your associate, son, daughter, niece, nephew, grandbaby. Nothing goes on in the inner city community without somebody knowing what. Come on. And then they have a tendency, the moment something happened, Brandon Scott, Ivan Bates, this one here, they did not do it. I used to do the same thing, so that's why I'm laughing. Until I started realizing, as a community organizer, when you got people like we, ours, us, who create programs, intervention programs, go into the community, talking with our young men, our young ladies, they have ways and means of getting them the proper help, like workforce development programs, educational programs. That's what strengthening the community do. But now they are outside resources, because once you come in my housing program, I got to guide you to the professionals. That's what we do. We don't leave you hanging. That's why you understand it takes the village. It takes the village to slow a lot of this down. That's why not being smart with none of y'all. But I be on these TikTok streets and I be listening to y'all. And a lot of y'all is just full of conversation. And I'm going to tell you this. If you are a real, say like community activist or community organizer, or you with civil rights groups, or let me see, human rights groups, you are going to mention your city. You are. You're going to mention your city. You're going to mention what community you basically in. You're going to mention some of the names of the nonprofit organizations, the businesses, and all of that to help people that's in that vicinity and getting the proper help they need. That's what I do. That's what strengthening the community is all about. That's what the Couch Talk Show is all about. That's what Baltimore's Teen Talk Show is all about. I can go in here. I got a list of 50, and I know I got more. I just haven't wrote them down yet. Most of them are Black nonprofit organization in Baltimore City. I got some white ones too. And when I say that, I'm talking about programs that's helping people to put their lives in order. Y'all think Mexicans or the Jewish people community don't do smugs? That's a lie. You think a lot of them don't go through abuse and all of that? Because you're looking at the individual, how they was raised in order to treat their children. You're only going to give back. Now, that might not be as popular in certain other cultures like it is in the BLK community, but yes, all cultures suffer. We're not the only ones that I'm thinking about the whip, right? Come on. I read up on a lot of that. A lot of us think slavery just began 1619. A lot of us think slavery just began when God told Moses, go tell Pharaoh, I said, let my people go. Slavery is every bit of 6,000 to 7,000 years old. The point of slavery was getting people to do the work for you at either a cheaper a cheaper price, or basically free. You force them to work for you. Do y'all realize that? So the system is not something that just been set up. It's just been repeating itself throughout history, throughout Egyptian time. It's been repeating itself. Now, reason why Mr. Copeland's saying this, when it comes to fighting against a system that wants to keep, and I can only really say, basically, the less fortunate. Because if you living right and you doing all the right things, and I'm going to say more like a middle class life, there's only 3 classes. Either you living in poverty, or you live in a middle class life, which is in between being rich, but you well off. So all BLKs in the marginalized communities. Now, I can speak for Baltimore City. Everybody in Baltimore City that's in the marginalized community is not all BLKs. It's probably, I'm going to say maybe 80% BLKs, but it's a mixture. That's your marginalized community. That's your people that's living below the poverty rate. And in Baltimore City, the poverty rate is below 40,000. 40,000 might be a lot to some other places, like Philly. See, our minimum wage now is $15 an hour. They trying to get a bill passed now for it to go from 15 to 25. I think that's a little bit steep. They should have just went $5 more rather than 10. Now, if they do get that bill passed, it could take a period of 10 years, probably, for a company to get their employees there, their employee. Because a new person coming straight through the door, if you haven't been with that company for a while to earn that type of money, they're not going to want to give it to you straight off the bat. Unless it's some type of blue collar, career, professional type job. How I know that? I drove tractor trailers. 9th grade education. Went into truck driving at 21. I would drive a little bit, I would stop. I tried to make money the other way, the fast way. It didn't work. I would get back into it. I would get into it. I might have worked about a month or a year. I mean, about 6 months or a year. Then I would stop. until I got clean. And then I was able to spend well over 25 years in trucking, about altogether. So I know. That's why I open up my mouth the way I do, family. When you got ex-offenders, when you have felons, when you have returning citizens, if you do not change your old ways of thinking, you will go back to practicing those behaviors. Safe streets. You will go back to practicing the same behaviors if you not learn how to change that mindset. Because when I first got clean, the first couple of years, I said, I'm going to do this and do that and go to the meetings, go to church and talk a good game, but still put that stuff in the streets. And God said, you go back to hurting my people, I'm going to hurt you. I said, never mind. So I'm only sharing this for whoever that's with we, ours, us. A changed man right here. And I'm not talking bad about we, ours, us, because I know Dr. Humphrey. We grew up together. I'm very familiar with Andre. Thank you, brother. Or Andrew, I'm sorry. I'm very familiar with Dr. Hall. That's my church member. And probably about 10 more of them that walks with them. I'm so proud of these men. That's why I pop up now and then. BMore, Peace Movement. Erica, I'm proud of you. You know it. Lisa, I'm proud of you. You know it. Cherie Rogers, you know I'm proud of you. Strong mentoring. Standing strong mentoring. Marlo Hargrove, I'm proud of you with the FACE program. He works with the returning citizens and stuff. Housing program. That's my business partner. 2. He worked with more of the men. I normally do the women and women with children. Christina Flowers, I'm proud of you because I know you only done men and women. And from what I understand and now, from what I'm understanding now, you're working with women with children. And I'm proud of that. I'm only saying this TikTok because now, guess what? Like I said, when I come up on people's platforms on TikTok, and if your prompt fits around whatever I'm saying out my mouth, I'm going to answer your prompt. If you don't want me to directly answer your prompt, do not ask me to come on your platform. Keep playing with people. Keep allowing people up on your platform that you know that's going to misdirect people, going to start an argument, going to start the chaos and confusion. Those are the ones that you want to keep inviting and then wonder why we the way we are in the melanated community, in the black community. So to be honest with y'all, the YT ain't got to do nothing. We doing it to ourselves. Keep blaming. We know what's happening. They ain't all YT. And this is what I begin to understand in my process, even with the business. As a community activist, right? Each time we went, City Hall, yeah, you got more black people coming out there to be okay. Annapolis, y'all disappeared. DC, y'all disappeared. And I'm only sharing this with you because I'm in it. And when I sit down with people like, well, she's not there anymore at Communities United, and all of us meet together, I'm talking about different nationalities to go and fight a bill, to speak out on a bill. It might be, and I use this example, family, might be 250 of us going to DC or Annapolis to fight against a bill so it won't get passed. You get me? 250. That's just an example. 250. I'm going to say in Annapolis. 250. Normally, 225 are basically light-skinned from other races. There's 25 normally blacks. And do y'all know how disappointed I get? Because a lot of times they're there helping fight for us too. And I see this. I see this with my own two eyes. Do y'all know, as a community organizer, as this big mouth dude speaking up for his people? Normally when they ask me to come and speak, y'all know I'm gonna speak. If ACLU called me and say, Mr. Copeland, we fighting against such and such and such, can we get your voice? You think I'm gonna tell them no? If American Disability Act called me and say, Mr. Copeland, can you come and speak on certain things? Dealing with diabetes or something like that. Or I got 4 fingers over here. All together, I got 6 fingers. See? I was born like this. I'm considered as disabled, but I never let it hold me back from driving. As long as I could stir that wheel, that's all that matters. That's why I didn't let this hold me back. I was born like this. I could have got disability way back when. Matter of fact, I could file a lawsuit against the company that gave my mother and them back during them days the medication that caused a lot of us to come out with short arms and disabilities and stuff like that. I read up on that too. Keep in mind, when I open up my mouth, and I said this to myself, rather than me, I try not to hold a lot on my brain. You get it? My biggest fear with having a lot of knowledge and wisdom, I'm talking about like book information, trying to figure stuff out. I ain't trying to lose my mind. That's all. That's why I learn as much as I can, and then I go with it. I love the ones that have photographic memories. I love that. Where you can just remember stuff like this. I'm like, God, man. Because that's amazing to me. My ex-wife had photographic memory. And my 25-year-old, who's studying to be a lawyer, had photographic memory. Some people is just that intelligent to memorize stuff like that. Not Steve. And I can be honest with y'all. Sometimes I don't want to remember stuff. I'll be like, you get me? It's less stressful. Now, mind you, I didn't understand that until a little bit more when I begin to get older. I'm the type of person, if I'm not careful, I will try to do a million things at one time. And when I find myself trying to do a million things at one time, I'll be like, oh my God, back up, Steve. Because when I do it, it's like I'm trying to step in front of God. Say, I got this, God, you sit right there, I take care of this. But then when I realize, nope, it's all him. So now, after my incident in 2023, And I know my ego and pride can be off the roof because that's how I carry it. And when I say my ego and my pride, I just want y'all to understand, don't take it in a negative way. Because when you have people who deals with low self-esteem, when you have people that deals with depression, when you have people that suffers from, I'm gonna say anxiety or all that, right? A lot of times you gotta go in to encourage, to empower, to motivate yourself. Like y'all hear me say stuff like, I'm a handsome dude, I'm a nice looking man. It's not that I'm saying it, I gotta believe it and feel it. Because I gotta believe it in myself. And if somebody say, you're a nice looking man, you're a very handsome man, I love the way you dress, blah, 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 blah. Only thing I'm going to say to you is thank you. Because I already know. That's why I wore that outfit. That's why I wore them shoes. That's why I put them socks on. That's why I put that tie on. That's why I put that cologne on. I already know. I already know. I know. I know me. I know me. Look, I know me. I love smelling good. Got Tommy over here too. This is my daily stuff. I got, about 6 more bottles. I use this daily. This, when I was driving the tractor trailer, I would spray this on me all the time, every day. Know why? Because it matched my, what they call it, the pheromone, the skin, all that. Like if I was sweating real bad, you would smell the cologne more than you smelled the sweat. That's why I like this right here. See, I know what works with my body. And I got other colognes. I got colognes that I wear with my suit and my ties. So the reason why I'm saying this, right, to help the individual, to learn to be all right with the individual. You get it? I don't care how old you is. 13, 14, 15, 6, 7. And any woman that signs up for the housing program with me and any other program, you have to sign up for the mental health program, healthcare provider. Those are the ones that provide the PRP, the therapists, the psychiatrists, because they supposed to be under their umbrella. If you're an LPN and you have your own practice or want to earn money on the side with working with me, but you're going to be paid by Medicaid, you can bill Medicaid, then I have no problem in bringing you in. I had people come out and say, Mr. Copeland, I would like to join you and blah, 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 blah. Long as we can bill Medicaid for your services towards the clients. See, I already know my business. I don't need nobody to come and tell me, well, Mr. Copeland, you need to this, you need to that. No. God put this thing together. If it's anything, if you have a program, a business, and we can kind of merge, because number one, keep in mind, if you need clients, who do you think got the clients for your business? Huh? I'm dealing with the homeless and the less fortunate population. So they come through me to get to you. I give it something more like their agent. If you are a master contractor, I want to see your work. Most of them bring you their portfolio to show you how the house was or the land was before they started doing it over, reconstructing it. You got to show all that. When you come with me, and because I'm the type of man that knows the politicians, right, who actually control what contract that we might can get to do some work, you come with me. As long as your paperwork and everything is in order, I can go into broker mode and get us contracts. Just by going to the people I know. That's called networking. It's called getting involved. Now, for a lot of that stuff that I'm telling y'all about, right, I slacked up on sharing a lot of it. Because a lot of people, they talk a good game. And I be thinking we all, when I hear you, on one accord. And then next thing I know, about a month later, you done switched up. And I'm like, what in the freak done happened to that person that I talked to about business? Because now your business has become TikTok. Making money off your own people in that sense. Our goal is about putting people to work. You got a felon? Come on. Now, guess what? When they got that bill passed in Baltimore City, that criminals, period, can vote. That means ex-offenders too. Returning citizens too. Because it said criminal, period. So it's not according to your backgrounds, right? Now, let me say this too. And this is Baltimore City. It's in other places because people I talk with. They are not, from what I understand, supposed to ask you about your criminal background anymore on an application. If you got a felony, right, and you putting in, the only thing they don't want you to do, wherever your felony came from, or however you did certain things, you can't get back into that field. You can't. From what I understand. But now, and I'm talking to our felons right now, you can get federally bonded. They pay companies to hire you, even though you're making money. It's a tax break for them as well. I done a lot of work since I've been on this side. Because I'm serious about helping people. I am very, very serious. Starts with the young on up. So many people, right? We have programs and we have things for the adults, right? But we don't have a lot of stuff that the youth can get into to help turn their lives around, to help them to become more productive members, too, of society. I'm not no joke. And the reason why I keep saying I'm not no joke, Maurice just sent me something that said the strongest people take time to help other people. Come on, man. That's my spiritual brother. He always send me something before he go to bed at night. But and he works at Second Chance, which they hire a lot of returning citizens. They don't even ask you your background. Their goal is to get you some work. But he does that part of that. I sent 2 guys from my program down there to him. See, I'm not, like I said, I'm not one of them ones that just run off in my mouth and want to sound good. We produce solutions. A man is about creating stuff. He's not about just talking. Then when I look at God, right? When I look at the creator, when I look at the creator himself, when I look at the spoken words that called everything that was already here, that was in the dark, that was covered with water, called it back into the light. Y'all realize that? It was covered. He called it back into the light. It was already here. So what I mean when I said the creator, I don't know, some people might say a woman, whatever y'all call the creator, whoever created, I'll say God. At one point, be honest with y'all, I was thinking it was the aliens that created this world. I don't really know, but I just know, and I have a little understanding from what Bible tells me. So I can be completely wrong. But for right now, where I'm at 64 years old, I stick to what I've been reading and studying, that been around. I don't care how many times they might have rewritten it and rewritten it and rewritten it. That's part of life. When you're going through your 20s, you do certain things. When you're going to your 30s, you do certain things. So your life is rewritten and rewritten and rewritten. Did y'all realize that? No, I know you didn't. But anyway, and the point of saying that, right? The word. God breathed life into Adam. The breath of life is in all of us. The breath of life. We walking around in the flesh. The breath of life. Now, guess what? I ain't understand a lot of this. But I'm going to get back to the part. The creator. He creates. The creator, which lives in me, he creates. When I look at my son, I'm his father. My son is a replica of me. I'm his father. That's my son. When I look at my daughters, they are my daughters. They are replicas of me. The creator, the son. I don't just have a son. I have daughters. I just don't have a son. I have a grandson. I just don't have a daughter. Excuse me, family. I have granddaughters. They are replicas of me. They are living, breathing human beings. The same way God told Jeremiah, I knew you before the foundation of this world, Steve Copeland. I knew you basically before I put your mother and your father together, Steve Copeland. It was the blood of my mother. From when he put them together. It was the blood. It was the blood. It was the blood. It's the blood. That's why we plead the blood of Jesus. It was the blood that created him right here. From that to her. God said, I knew you before the foundation of this world. I put everything in you that I called you to go back and do what you are doing today. June the 12th, 6:55. on a Friday. He knew I was going to do this, whether I knew it or not. He already knew, because my life was predestined. So for a lot of y'all, if you don't understand certain things, that's fine. Because I'm going to tell y'all right now, I know for a fact that God don't deal with all of us the same way. I already know that. Now, I happen with people like myself, who's Bible oriented, go through Christ. Y'all know how many people that read and study the Bible that don't believe in basically the Trinity itself? It's only one God now. But I don't get caught up in all of that, because as I begin to grow and mature, I begin to understand that God deals with his own people in his own special way. Everybody he don't deal with through the Holy Bible. And I know Bible says, Ismail, the only way to get to the Father is through the Son. That's what Bible says. Now, what Ismail read, it might tell him something totally different. What I'm going to tell Ismail, no, that ain't the only way. You wrong. No. Because God works with us individually in his own special way. I don't care what your lifestyle is, smex-wise, right? If you sane and if you found peace within your life, that's all that matters, because he loves you anyway. He might not like the behavior, but he loves the individual. So a lot of us, what we say, God loves the sinner, but he hates the sin. But then we're going to turn around and tell you he don't like you for the way you're living. It's like, what? What did you just say? Uh-huh. I'm only saying it right, because in reading and studying the word, no matter how much I stumble and fall, he loves me anyway. I got the right. We the only one of his animals have the right, well, creation, to choose between good and evil. Free will. Free will. And he loves you anyway. Why we don't tell people that? He loves you anyway. Now, the goal is, right, I got to go to this right here. And I don't know why I'm going here with this, but I know it ain't nobody but God. The 10 Commandments, right? The 10 Commandments. The 5 books of Moses are the instructions from the 10 Commandments that was laid down. So understanding the laws, when God say don't do this or don't do that, don't sleep with your neighbor's wife or daughter, somewhere along that line too. Thou shalt not unalive somebody. The only thing he's saying, if you practice these type of behaviors, which is wrong, you're going to get punished. That's all he's saying. Now, look at the laws itself that they use for the land. If you do certain things and breaking those laws, you get punished. That's where your system coming in. That's where your political system coming in. That's where your organized religion and politics, basically the same things, is to control, depress, oppress, suppress people, enslave you, to control you. Now look at the word I said. I said organize. Because understanding traditions and laws and teaching from whatever religious belief you have, you know, if it's trying to control and dictate you as a human being and steal your independence, that's a form of slavery. And that's why the system was created the way it was. And that's why everybody that's a part of, I'm going to say, the system, I was going to say post-traumatic slavery syndrome. I say slavery, but when a doctor, let me get her name right. I got to get her name. But when she talks about post-traumatic slave syndrome, I keep saying slavery, but it's slave. She goes back to say that it's been passed down basically since slavery. It's a mind thing. The goal is, because my eyes are open today, is to help break that mental, emotional, and spiritual cycle. It's to help break it. And this is how you begin to talk about things. You helping your people to understand what's going on. Post-traumatic slave syndrome. Then you go back to Jim Crow. I'm going to tell y'all this too, because I know we read about the Jim Crow. Jawan, J-U-A-N, Crow. Look it up. Look it up. A lot of y'all like doing your research. Look it up. Only reason why I keep telling y'all that I'm into stuff like this, because I became, understand, a community activist, a community organizer. So, and then y'all know I'm an ordained deacon, so I see stuff that I really never paid attention to when my eyes was closed. But now that your eyes are open, it's like, okay, what are you going to do to help reduce a lot of this? Now, I'm going to throw some names out there. Remember when I said, what are you going to do to help reduce some of this? Baltimore City. We was us. Baltimore City. Uncle T. Baltimore City. Mayo Alfonso. Baltimore City. Senator Coy McCray. Baltimore City. Reason why I'm saying these names, because number one, these are organizations and businesses in Baltimore City that created programs. Baltimore Peace Movement. See, I can only speak for Baltimore City, because you have civil rights advocates like Pastor Dr. Hathaway. He restoring a lot of places in Baltimore City. These are people that I had to surround myself with, family. That's fighters. That's warriors. And y'all know Baltimore City because I got to go here with the mental part of it, right? Look at this right here. Because I had to read up more on it, right? I had to get into it, right? The school to prison pipeline. The school to prison pipeline. The school to prison pipeline. Giovanni Patterson. And a lot of other ones. And if you write there, Giovanni, he was the one that asked me to come and speak. About the school system. Not properly educating our youth. Our young men. If you don't properly educate our young men, a lot of them are going to turn out to be criminals. And I found out through talking with some other people, it's the curriculum that they're giving them. But when I found out with talking with other people, not just our young men, some of the females too, but it's the tests and the curriculum that they're giving them that they don't really understand. So when I spoke out on it, I spoke out about the school superintendent not giving the teachers the proper curriculum to teach our children. So I asked Giovanni, I said, who can let her go? Because she know better than that. I'm great. She know better than that. She's a mother. She got children. Her daughter's probably in college now. But she already know. I said, who can let her go? He mentioned Brandon Scott and the board. I said, no, they're higher than that. I wasn't the only one that was saying this stuff. I met a lady over at the market, and she was saying the same things. Right? You gotta bring them down. You gotta bring them down. When that thing happened to me 3 years ago, my lawyer asked me what was strengthening the community all about. I thought it was something simple for him to understand, strengthen the community. Then being a community activist, being a community organizer. I used to live a certain way of life back in the days. You get it? Matter of fact, for TikTok's sake, the rats, the roaches, and all of that. I went through that. That lifestyle, the streets, any ways and means. You get it? Street life. Started off young. And I'm just saying this right now. It breaks my heart that a lot of children had to go through what a lot of us went through as adults. We was children ourselves. But we know better, and we could provide better. You get me? I was able to do that for mine. So I tell anybody who feel like they can't be successful in life, yes, you can. I came out of school with a 10th grade education. When that happened to me, 3 years ago when them police came together and did some fake charges. And my lawyer knew I only had a 9th grade education, but I didn't have a criminal background. He was shocked. How was you able to succeed? I told him it was 2 things out of life I always wanted to do: be a culinary chef or a truck driver. I became a truck driver. He was shocked. He was shocked because I came from there, but I didn't come through the system like the prison and all of that, right? He was shocked that I was able at 21 to get into truck driving and gain a career, professional, and was able to take my family and not raise them up. My wife and I now, not by myself, was able to provide a better life for them than basically what we had. Y'all know how they felt? And I'm explaining this to him and he like, wow. Because most uneducated black men will fall into criminal activities. I was there, but I had people that I gave this to, that to, so I wouldn't be on the front line. And if you came up to me and said, hey, can I get this and get that? I would ignore you. Because I didn't know if you was the popo. So if you came to me in that sense, nah. I was always careful. You get it? I'm talking about the old life. Catch me, family. And I thank God I was 61 when they created this bull crap and put my butt over to prison. I felt like they kidnapped me because of my big mouth and hid me away. Get them off the street for a while. Matter of fact, I received a phone call maybe about 2 weeks before that incident happened. I was arguing with the police. Go on my Twitter page. Stroll down. You'll see me sending out messages to Brandon Scott, Ivan Bates, and at that time, Harris was here because the police was coming for me because of this. I only called them to come and help me with some clients that was off their meds. And every time they would come, they would flip the script and come for me. Like I did something wrong. And I was the one being nice to a lot of y'all. Because it was the lady down at the rental office. It was the lady at the rental office, right? That told me, she said, Mr. Copeland, fill this paper out right here. You know you can get up to $30,000 because you're being harassed. She said, if you go across the street, that was to the mayor's office. She said, you can get more. I said, I'm going to go across the street. It was told to me at that time, and I still got it. Get the police's badge numbers and names. I even went to report them to the Internal Affairs. It was other police that told me to do that. It was some other police. I got a stack of them like this. Only thing, y'all get paid to protect and serve. I don't get paid as a community activist, as a community organizer. I could have signed up with Communities United and became a paid organizer, but I couldn't I couldn't say the things directly like I'm saying. Because once you get paid, you limited. That's what I started realizing. And a lot of times when you speaking at a rally or protest, you speaking out, they give you something to speak from. They'll write a script. That's what I was trying to get to. I said, no, because I'm not going to remember it. I remember some, but if it's relating to like a used to be thing, and this is what we can do to flip it around, I'm going to talk a little bit about it. Then I'm going to come back and say, well, this is what we can do to slow this down. This is what we can do to stop that right there. And I'm going to tell you, they don't like it. Some, not all. But I've met some great politicians in this process that really, 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 really wants the best for their people. But y'all got to understand, when they meet up during session, they have to go accordingly to the laws that's being created, because they got to vote on it or against it for the laws that's being created. So say like if I'm in, I was gonna say Congress. Say like if I'm if I'm in, if I come trying to think, a councilman, right? And I have a LLC, y'all already know that. So once we in session, I can't put my hands into the business side of things, because I have to go according to the laws and how it's presented. But I can, when it comes to what I'm doing, try to convince them to put stuff in that will better help the community. You get me? This is what AI told me. I said, what? That's what AI told me. Because I was asked to run for council seat a few times. But y'all know I do the LLC and you can't mix the business. I'm like, well, but AI was the one that told me, say yes. When it's say yes, you can. When y'all in session, you know, you can't do certain things in that sense. But once y'all out, now you can go back to doing what you do. But because of what you're doing as a community organizer, you on the ground, you grassroots, you come with the solution to whatever bills they create. Now, I'm saying me, but understand, I ain't by myself, right? But I can only speak for me. That's why I talk about me. But it's other organizations like American Civil Liberty Union. I didn't know. Look, when we tried to get that plane here, they fought against us from getting that plane here. That's what made me interested in the ACLU. Like, who the heck y'all think y'all is? We trying to reduce stuff, educate the community. If you go out there and you do this, and we got the plane up there, and we gonna get the information, your behavior. This is what I would tell our young guys. You can go out there and do this and do that. Ain't nobody got to call on you or snitch on you. Your behavior gonna tell on itself. Know what the young guys will say? Man, they got all these cameras right there already. If they want to catch us, they can. I said, I know. We could tell you which ones was working and not working. Pennsylvania North was like a ranch. Long as they right there in that vicinity, doing what they do, what they do, what they do. Doing what they do, what they do, what they do. You see the police sitting right over there at the library. They rallied them in one spot. As long as they doing what they do, Get it. We ain't got to worry about this. We ain't got to worry about that. Because they taking each other down. We ain't got to worry. And y'all want to holler YT. Now, Pennsylvania North is one. You go a little further down, it might not be as many out. But it all depends on who doing what and what where. See, I come from the street, so y'all know I got to watch my language for TikTok's sake, too. I was the one back in the days. My family put this stuff out there. That's why I can talk the way I talk. Personal experience, personal growth for coming up out of it. When I yelled out in 1993, God, please help me. And he pulled me out. Took the desire from me, brothers, sisters. If anybody from Safe Streets listening to me, if you have not done the necessary work to change your old ways of thinking, people, places, and things, y'all around a bunch of great men and women that's trying to do the right things for Baltimore City. But a lot of y'all still have that same attitude, behavior, and that's why you back to repeating a lot of the same stuff. You haven't changed your old ways of thinking and behaviors. So what we do, we get into something, right? And we think because we over here now, we can do this and we can do that long as they don't know. Because I went there too. I didn't do it, but I thought about it once I got clean. So I understand the work y'all doing. I understand the point of Safe Streets. I do. To help reduce the pew violence. I had to say that for TikTok's sake. And I'm with Archie and all of us. We fighting to get that plane here to do the same thing. Help reduce the pew violence. That's what it was. And we got it here. It's supposed to have been here. It was a year. It's supposed to have been here for a year. They promoted it like it's something they did. I'm like, what the freak? I'm talking about the police and them. And then after a while, they got rid of it. That goes to show you, I'm telling you, I thank God to this day. And I checked it, and I checked it. For 2025, 133. Back in 2017, 343. It dropped a lot. But that was by the pew now. Well, the ones that was taken out in the inner, and I gotta watch what I say for TikTok too, family. The one that was taken out in the inner city. Okay. Because if you lived in Baltimore City and something happened to you like across the county line, you wasn't included in the unalive rate in the city because you on the county line, so they had to deal with that even though you was born and raised in the city. See, I didn't understand a lot of that until we all start working together. You know, mothers against pews, stuff like that. Those type of programs. I've met throughout the years. I met a lot of parents lost loved ones to the streets. God got me sharing this family because this was not my idea to come and talk on here like this. I just want to see us do better. I want to see us come together. I'm old school family, so I keep thinking about that village. I'm old school family, so when we talk about the Black Wall Street, when we talk about that, do y'all realize that's your marginalized community, your inner, inner city poor communities is where we need to come together and rebuild. Look at the schools that's being shut down. Look at the recreation centers that's being shut down. A lot of this is inner city stuff. All the taxes and money just being paid should be rotating back into the inner city to build. Did y'all know that? I live right here near Morgan. I'm gonna just say this. I'm right near Morgan. And y'all know this is Baltimore City, but it's not your inner city. But the same way, check this out. We have the police station right down the street. We have security. Morgan have security right across there. I said we can do this in the city, in the inner city as well. Build back up. It's a lot of vacant properties, abandoned houses. People is doing it now. They starting to rehab and revitalize and doing affordable houses for low to moderate income people. They also in the inner city starting to gentrify. But my thing with that, even though they are gentrifying, we can create low to moderate income houses for people to buy. That's below the poverty rate of 40,000 a year in the inner city. No matter what you do, people have to learn to come together. I lived right there on Linden Avenue in North. I grew up there in the 60s. I'm looking at the houses that they're putting down there now, almost $400,000. But you still have people that's living around there, right? And the neighborhoods look nice still. It's just you have to teach people how to be more responsible, how to maintain their property. If they have financial issues, right? You get them with somebody that will teach them how to budget properly. If they don't know how to make market, the PRP, if they don't know how to make market, they don't know how to wash clothes, they don't know how to keep that place clean. If you coming through strengthening the community, you're going to learn all this. The goal is to prepare you to go back out and become a more productive member of society. But you, the individual, have to want to do the work to change. Okay. Now I gotta go here. Y'all know I have 33 years clean, right? My best friend, Bruce Green, I remember him from first grade. I had to get away from him. When I got clean, I had to get away from him. My family that I used to do things with, when I got clean, I had to get away from them. I would go around them once in a while, but my life was starting to become too important. I had to stop going in certain areas. Now, mind you, I'm new in the process. So once I was able to be honest with myself, to have faith back in myself, to trust back in myself, and I'm gaining confidence, I'm gaining courage, I'm gaining knowledge in a more healthier way now. I'm gaining this. God got me looking at me. You, Steve. Building me up, making me strong, making me powerful. Now I need you to go back and teach others. I'm like, what? Yeah. That's why I do what I do, fam. I knew I had a calling on my life for the longest time. I used to tell my sponsor, I said I had a calling on my life. And it wasn't until I settled down to find out what do he really want me to do, right? I was sitting in the church. One of the ministers came by me. He said, "You're a good man. I want you to come and sign up for the deacon class." And I looked up at him, family, during this time I was going through some stuff. And I wanted to say, "Who do you think you are?" I said, "Okay." I became an ordained deacon. And I'm talking with my sponsor. And he said, "You walking where God called you to walk. You finally," because I went through being in the church of the redeemed. I became a usher. I became a van driver, right? I was in the ministry, the music ministry for the men. I got into the acting ministry as well. Now, mind y'all, a lot of this stuff I used to do in 61. The classes that they had in there. Now I'm in the church. I'm singing with the men's choir. They got me all the way in the back because I'm baritone. And once I'm in it, I sound good. I always say they hid me away though, right? But I'm elder, baby, Dr. Hall, I'm talking about we would have fun. But once you in it and you feel in the spirit, it's like, wow. Then I got into the theater ministry. Played one of the Roman soldiers that crucified Christ. Felt bad because I had to get in that role. Then I played the role of Judas. And I'm pronouncing the name wrong, but I say Isaac, right? And I got up, like I was counting my little money, little golden things to go turn them in, and I felt like trash. I'm telling y'all, for a lot of us, I'm talking about in the acting ministry, because you had to play a certain role to make it look real. You get me? So you got to get in that role. And after we did what we did and walked away, knowing that he gave his life, he didn't have to. And we was making like we was beating them. Some people actually got mad at me because it looked so real. And that's what they told me. Said I had got mad. I was blah, 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 blah. I'm like, wow. But I felt like crap. When a person put their life on the line for me. And see, I didn't understand, but it was just the stuff that we did with the singing. I met some great people like Fred Hammond, Marvin Sapp, CeCe Winans, Vicky Winans, T.D. Jakes came to our church. A lot of them. I love what I do, fam. I love what I do. I love who I serve. So when you see Steve coming, I'm only fighting against evil. That's why I don't have a problem with being that big mouth dude, because that's the way I fight against evil. My mouth. My mouth. I will rebuke you if I have to. My mouth. I know I'm a warrior for Christ. My mouth. My mouth. That's why he had me become a community activist. That's why he had me become a community organizer. My mouth. Fighting against the system that keeps his people enslaved and oppressed. My mouth. And a lot of y'all take it the wrong way. I'm not one of them ones that act like I walk on water, even though I feel like I do now. But I know it's times where I want to act out on my flesh and want to go out there and do a lot of the stuff that God delivered me from. That's why I try to make it plain and simple, family. Because I'm older now. The stuff that I used to do when I was younger, I just don't do no more. The good part about it, I don't have a desire for it. You know how good that feels? 64 years old. And I can look at my children. I can look at my grandchildren. I never thought I would make it past 21. I don't care if this matters to anybody else. I'm talking about self. But when I talk about myself, I know I'm talking about a lot of other people. Because you can relate. I know you can. I've been there, did that. Boy, I've been on this road. Yes. You get it? Been on this road for 33 years. And I've done some stuff. But when you can sit back like this, cross your legs, and fold your arms, do that mean I'm stressed out about something? Huh? When you can sit back, rear back, see what I'm doing? Strengthen the community right here. The Latonya D. Copeland House of Hope right there is to help build a new BMore city. Check my page out. A new BMore city. Rebuilding our communities. It's a dream, it's a passion, it's a mission, it's a purpose. You get it? But guess what? Family, it's a lot of people that's doing it to help me understand you ain't by yourself. You ain't by yourself. And the good part about it, I can come on this and I can talk about it. And when people call me, watch what I do. I can do you like this. Go talk to such and such and such. Go talk to such and such and such. If I can't do it, go talk to such and such and such and such. That's how you stay connected. I gotta watch this. Look, that's how you stay connected. That's how you stay connected. Look at this. I wrote this. We'll say the truth. Keep it real. Was I over the prison when I wrote this? I'm trying to see. BMore Real Teen Talk Show. Yep. From Saturday on Saturdays 2 to 3. Giving our teens a voice. Yep, I was over the prison when I wrote this. Basically. I took a lot of my paperwork out. Now, I made a list. And if I read this list off Baltimore City, y'all know just about everybody I will read off here. And the work they're doing in Baltimore City. Telling y'all. Only reason why I'm saying this TikTok, and for other people that's in other cities, if you in DC and you doing what we doing in Baltimore City, let's talk. If you in Delaware, Philly, Detroit, I'm trying to work my way down the line to actually New York, right? I'm trying to work my way down there. Like Delaware, right? Philly, New Jersey, then New York, right? Trying to work my way down. Then once I do that, Chicago, Detroit, if y'all are in the community, you got businesses, you got nonprofits, you are very, very welcome to come over here and share with us, because guess what? Somebody, why is you doing that? I'm getting messages on my other thing. But look, it's like networking. That's all I'm saying. Networking. Oh, you in Jersey with this organization, or your program is named such and such and such and such, your LLC, and this is what you're doing to help like recovering addicts, substance, users and all of that. That's how we come together. Stop this being selfish. I send stuff over to TikTok for them to come over to. I mean, I'm sorry, I said TikTok, I'm sorry. LinkedIn. Because a lot of people on LinkedIn are business people. A lot of y'all over there, I know you. Because of the work and the people I follow on LinkedIn, right? Most of y'all are somewhere in Maryland. I already know it. Because you are the ones I normally follow. Because we're doing a lot of the same stuff. So you somewhere in Maryland, might be Virginia, might be just a little bit away. But most of y'all that I follow, we got quite a few friends. That's why I follow you. Because some of us are associated with the same people. LinkedIn. Don't make me do a regular live and send it over there to y'all. My baby, Linda Pierce. She was the one that told me, Steve, people hear me. You hear me, but they need to see it as well. And that's what I started understanding. We talk the talk. You get it? We talk it, we walk it, we heal together. And I was beginning to understand that people, that's why I post stuff to like LinkedIn. That's why I'm recording right now to like I keep on saying Twitter, which is X, right? Then Twitch. I'm live on Twitch. I'm live on YouTube right now. I'm live on my regular Facebook page, Steve Copeland. Then I'm going over to Steve Copeland, supposed to be 59. That's where my great grandfather's at on that platform. And it's one more, strengthen the community. It is send from my other page, it is send the live stuff over to strengthen the community while I'm talking like this. So it's 3 of my Facebook pages. And I'm only just trying to reach out to the community, family. I'm only trying to get us to come together. I'm going to say as one family, as a team, as a unit. I love this right here. The reason why, because I just don't, I'm not just heard in Baltimore City, right? Whenever y'all see Maxwell Harris up there, he's from Africa, Liberia. That's who I started the foundation with. Maxwell Harris, Foundation of Liberia. The goal was to start sending product. But somebody told me that send the money, because I think the money will go a longer way from what this guy was saying. But the goal was to get with people with containers to ship stuff out, because y'all know I get products. Listen to what I'm saying. This was the goal when me and Maxwell came together to start sending products to Liberia. So I started that foundation. Once I got locked up, they put the halt. I was only over there 11 months, but that kind of slowed down everything. And then I was on home monitor for 13 months. So it was like 2 years to them. I served for something I didn't do. I said, look at this right here. But let me share this with y'all. God wanted me to see all this. The Innocent Project send me stuff all the time. Then look at Lady J. She does a show on people that, got locked up when they was younger and did 30, 40, 50 years. You like, what? And they came home. Or some of them are still over there, and she does her own show with that. And their wives, and might be their children. This what she did. Dr. Lady J. She goes into the prison to minister. I used to do that back in the 90s. On Fridays at 7 o'clock at the Wide Building. We basically do the same things. But I call her a baby Oprah Winfrey. I think her stuff is more conservative than mine. Professional, like, you get me? And know what? Whenever y'all see Deacon Steve with the war zone mouth, that's how I was in the streets. Standing firm. You stand firm on your morals, your values, your principles. I tell y'all that all the time. Stand firm on your morals, your values, your principles. This is how I had to teach my children too. because I know, like, some people gonna say things to them to hurt their feelings. Mainly because they trying to do everything right in life. I had to talk with my 25-year-old. One of her girlfriends, like her boyfriend, my 25-year-old and her boyfriend not together no more. So she going through stuff right now. So her girlfriend gonna try to come at her because she's still having feelings about that. But the girlfriend is running around doing, a lot of stuff. But it hurt her feelings because she looked at her in a better way, somebody to support her. So to get all that point, all what I'm saying, I had to start comforting my daughter. Because when I went down there to see her, she was feeling bad and she started crying about the issue. And Daddy had to come in to start comforting her, building this back up. And once I started seeing the look on her face and how she was beginning to change, I knew she was feeling it now. Right? Then I had to remind her of all the great things she's doing in Baltimore City. She working at a law firm. She get ready to go back to college in the process of all of that to get her to become a lawyer. You get me? Then she paying her own car payment. And guess what? She went and got a place down in Catonville. I mean down at Canton. Where they building up down there. Y'all know that's the conservative area. I was scared as heck to ask her how much she paid a month. I was like, Swimming pool, grills. I was scared. I asked her. She said $1,600. Living room, bedroom, kitchen. High end. Beautiful area. Y'all know. I'm so proud of her. My 27-year-old. But she's 28 now. Got a 2-year-old. I'm proud of her. I wish the baby father was more involved. So y'all know I gotta lift her up in that sense too. My 31-year-old, she's like out doing what she do. I'm proud of her. My 37-year-old, that's my oldest daughter. Raising her 2 kids by herself. She's an LPN. I wouldn't be surprised if she not a nurse now. We don't talk like we used to, but that's I said, Daddy here when you need me, baby. Sometimes I send her a message and say, you know, I like you. But she be like, all right, Mr. Steve. You call me Mr. Steve again. And then she'll bust out laughing. You call me Mr. Steve again. Make me wonder, am I actually Mr. Steve? I'm like, stop. But look, I look at it like this. She's a woman. I don't know what it is. You get me? OG, she's a woman. My 31-year-old, I ain't got no issues with her. But the 28-year-old, she's a woman. The 25-year-old, she's a woman. I ain't trying to figure it out. My 2-year-old grandbaby, she's a woman. And granddaddy, don't try to figure it out. I'm just here. You need a shoulder to lean on. You needed somebody to listen to you. I'm here because I had to get out of there trying to fix a mold too. You get it? Just be here. And certain things you can take care of, you take care of. But daddy here. Daddy sitting back. I'm just in my little rocking chair. Look where I'm at. Look where I'm at. Because I'm going to get ready to end this at 8, family. Look where I'm at. And I can raise back. Do you know how that feels? feels like you don't have a care in the world. You get it? This takes a lot of work. Wait a minute, family. Look, I was I was I was pulling down my TikTok thing. When you can sit back and do this, then I look at my 23-year-old son working, driving an electric car, Tesla, playing soccer. His goal is to be a professional soccer player. I'm trying to get him to join an indoor soccer team, right? But he don't like indoors. But if they invite him to come and play somewhere, he'll go. But he don't care for indoors soccer. So when I watch that with them, 25, my 28, my 31-year-old. Now keep in mind, the 28-year-old and the 31-year-old, they are my stepdaughters. They are. But to me, they are my daughters. You get me? I raised them 2 years before like Sienna came. Sienna just turned 25. Tashia just turned 28. When I met their mother, Tashia was like 2 months. Kai was almost 4. Now they grown. But to me, no matter what family, they my goddamn kids. You get me? And their fathers, they cool. We ain't mad at each other. We know each other, back from the days and around the neighborhood. I'm just saying this to help some people know. No matter, like when you have a joint family, you find the best way you can to become one. Even say like you get with that woman and she have 2, 3, 5 kids. Now if you step in there as stepdad, you're gonna take the responsibilities of raising them kids financially and all of that. That's a whole different conversation within itself. Because a lot of men don't mind being with the mother, but I ain't got nothing to do with your children. That's a no-no. That's a no-no. Because actually, if you're not trying to help her with the children, whatever she gets to provide for that family herself, you're living off it. Do you realize that, brothers? But you there because of her. And y'all ignoring the children. That's not how that works. So think real deeply before you step across certain lines with somebody, vice versa. Could be the woman with children, could be the man. Now, I know this. You can brag all you want, and my time is almost up. You can brag all you want about I got 5 kids, 10 kids. I know raising one is very expensive. And if you're not making the money to be able to afford those 10 kids, I would not brag about it. Or 5, or how many. I would not brag about it because I already know financially you're not able to take care of them. Not only that, all right, OG, not only that, right? Mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. If you're not bonded with them, believe it, they're going to feel an emptiness inside. So I love y'all. It's 8 o'clock. This was not me. This was God from where I went. I pray that it touched somebody. I only share, family, my experience, my strengths, and my hopes. I do not try to give people what I think, how I feel, right? I'm going to listen to you. And if I see you in a certain place, the goal is to encourage you to hang in there. Okay? Just to let y'all know. Tomorrow, tonight as well, I'm going to make another prompt. I'm going to try to get it in a little bit more. But tomorrow is BMore's Teen Talk Show. Parents, you are very, 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 very welcome. Please. I want us to be able to talk. And I want the youth to be able to talk about where they at, what's going on with them. But I want the parents, because y'all are the solution in getting them the proper help that they need. Because we want to fix them. I already know that. But we might have to send them to some outside, peer groups, mentors, therapy. I love you, but I got to send you here. I got to send you there. Because I'm going to tell you, that's what I told mine. Because I know Daddy going to try to fix them. But then I realized they got to go through what they got to go through because it's life. But the goal is we can only encourage them. We can only empower them. We lay down the morals. We lay down the principles of living a good, healthy life. It's up to them to live by them, right? But the parent got to be healthy. If the parent ain't healthy to help the kids, hey, I'm telling you, I see this a lot. Hey, Common Sense, happy Friday. Dealing with not just the women, not just the men, dealing with women and women with children. The goal is to help them, to help turn their lives around. So I'm saying this because the parents got to be healthy. But Common Sense said the parents have to be whole in order to develop a sound child. Come on now. The parents have to be whole. And by her just saying what she did, I wanted to say this too, Common Sense. It begins with us and it ends with us as parents. You get it? Because I'm just saying it because as a father who lived a certain way, I want the best for mine. Come on. And that's what we provide. So I love y'all. And I'm going to go ahead and end this because I'm 3 minutes over. But I'm going to go ahead and end this. Love y'all.